Hi, this is Denise Mathew, and this is part 2 to how to wrap beads and stones. This is a little more advanced techniques. So, but between the two videos, part 1 and part 2, if you can get these techniques perfected, you're pretty much unlimited for the amount of wire wrapping projects you can do. It's really those the basic wraps, and really you have a lot of capabilities after that. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a rosary wrap, but this is like a little fancier type of rosary wrap, and I did show you how to do this before, so I'm not going to get into the details of how to wire wrap it. Just have a refer back to how to wrap beads and stone reboot, and that will show you exactly how to do that. So basically I've just done a wrap loop, closed loop, slipped my bead on, okay, and now I'm going to close my bead, okay, but instead of just wrapping it around the base here, I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to wrap it once, and then I'm going to take my wire right down to the bottom, wrap it down there, and then I'm going to just trim it, and that will give me sort of a fancier style. Okay, so then the next one I would do exactly the same way, although I'm going to start connecting these. So I would slide it on, close my loop. Okay, I'll do 3 of these just so you can see the way it's being done. Okay, slide my bead on. Alright, so here this is what we have. Okay, now I want to do it sort of in the same position, so I'm going to turn my bead so it sort of is in the same position. Okay, so now again, wrap the loop. Okay, once around, down, right, around there, once or twice, whatever you like, as long as it's secured, and then we're going to trim it, and there you go. We have 2 now. Okay, now I'll do a third just so you can see how this is set up, and I think then you'll have the picture. So slide that on, close your loop, and again, you can be more careful with these than I am. I'm just trying to do it for speed's sake. Okay, now I'm going to make my loop. Okay, wrap it once and down to the lower bead like that, and around. Okay, and then trim. And it gives you kind of a nice finished look. And even if they're not all lined up, it's okay, because I mean, I think that it still gives you a really nice finished look. Okay, so that's that. Another thing that sometimes people like to do is they like to wrap stones with several wires that are fitted together. So for instance, I would have 2 of these, and basically with this I'm using about a 28 gauge, and so say I want it to do 2 wires and I want to wrap a briolette, and it does give it a different look. So if I start with that, I probably could do 3. So why don't I just show you 3 just to see the effect that you can get with it. And you know, the wires should be about the same size, same length. And your biggest job here is to make sure that you test your wires against your bead to make sure they go through. So because this is a glass bead, a glass crystal, I have a lot more leeway than if it were a gemstone bead, because those ones generally have quite small holes. Okay, so basically I'm just going to do a standard, I'm going to line these up first. I'm going to do a standard wrap. Okay, just a wrap briolette, and I'll just show you what they look like. So I'm going to push that against there, pull that up, and these are a little bit longer than I want them, so I'm just going to trim them. Okay, and if you see, it's the same technique as we always done before, okay, except it's 3, and then I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to do a wrap loop, and I'll bring that down as far as I can, right around. Now I'm going to make sure I capture those wires, okay, and it gives a sort of an interesting, more textured appearance, and you can go back up and down if you like, same idea. This is always nice if you're in a position where you do want to do a wrap loop and you just don't have the right gauge wire. This will give you the stability, and I normally would have gone right to the top, but this will work. And this will give you the stability, so it's not going to just break, because if you just did it with a 28 it would be much too light. Okay, so that sort of is your wrap. Okay, another way to do a wrapped loop. Now this is for a straight drill bead. I'm going to just take I don't know, about 6 inches of wire, and this is just another crystal. And what I'm going to do is, actually before I even put it on, I can just do a wrap loop. Right. And start it up. And I'm just going to thread that through. Okay. And so in the bottom I'm left with a circle. I can straighten that out so it looks a little bit neater. Alright, so this is what I'm left with right now. Okay, now I'm going to do the top part just with my round nose pliers. I'm going to just do my 90-degree angle, and I'm going to go around once, but instead of just going around once, I'm going to go around twice. And this is just, again, just a little more of something a little bit different. Okay, so now I have this, and if you look at the top, there's 2 loops. I'm going to grab those 2, and I'm just going to wrap a few times, but not too many times, because at this point, if you wanted to, you could basically say that was it. You're ready, and your pendant was done. But I'm just going to show you another way that you can do it. And so I would just take my wire, pull it right down, wrap it around this bottom bit, okay? And then if I want to wrap the other side, go up the other side, wrap it around there, okay, and finish it and trim it. Now, you might like it just like that, which is nice, okay, or what you can do is take your pliers and you can turn them a little bit and make sort of designs. So that would be something you could do. Or the other side, I'll do something different. It's really according to how much wire you have, but I guess I don't have much space for making something different. But basically, that's what you can do. Alright, so that one's done. Another way to do something is, say you have a briolette and you want it to add a bead on top. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So I'm just going to start with a regular wrap loop up by the side, make a little angle. Again, if you need to refer back to the other video, you can, just to make sure that you get the techniques. And now I have these 2 together on top. I'm going to slide a bead right on there. Alright, and I'm just going to slip it right over those 2 ends. So in this case, you want to make sure that your wire is small enough that it can fit in your bead 2 times without issue. Okay, so now it's in there, it's secure, and all I need to do is close my loop. And I can do the double again, where I just rolled it once, rolled it twice. This is what you have. Hold it and around. And if I want to drop it down, since I have a little extra wire, I can do this extra again, wrap it down here a few times. And if you wanted to, if your wire was long enough, you could actually go right down this bead with the same wire. So I'll just trim that little tail away and I'll show you that. So this is basically just showing you, and if that angle is not correct for hanging it, remember I showed you how to just twist it. Okay, so that's another way to do it. And I have just another thing I'm going to show you here. Just need a little more wire. Okay, so this is a top drilled crystal. Okay, and this is much the same as a regular briolette. All right, and that I'm just going to pull it up alongside it, bend it at an angle, and again pull it in on the other side. And then just make my loop. And I'm just going to show you what that looks like when I bring it right down. And trap the tip of that. In this case, you're going to want to, yeah, there. Okay, so this is kind of a cool look too. So I'm wrapping up and down a few times, and then, of course, it looks a little crooked now, but that's all right because we can always change that. There we go. And then that's another sort of idea. Okay, and the last thing I'm going to show you today, way to do a pendant or earring or whatever you want to do. Basically, I'm going to start with a loop. Okay, and then, okay, so now I have one loop. And then from that, I'm just going to do another one in the opposite way. Okay, so we have two together. And then I'm going to grab it here, and I'm going to do one more. And so what I'm left with is something that looks like this. I'll just flatten that so you can see that. Now what you can do, if you want, you could hammer that out. But then you just slide that onto your bead of any sort. And then, so you have this kind of look. And then you're going to just again wrap loop, and you can just finish it up on the top there, and I will do that one more time just to get the technique, just to show you. So you're going to do one loop in, you're going to grab it there, you're going to do another loop in, so now you have these two. Okay, and then grab it here and do another one, and there you would have your, now I'll just show you what that looks like when you hammer it. Alright, so lay that down. So basically hammer flat, then texture with the ball peen end. Okay, and you can adjust it afterwards. Then you would slide it on your bead. A bead that fits. So, which don't seem to be any of these beads. Well, here we go. I think this will do it. So there you go. And then you would close that up. And again, these are great for charms, pendants, earrings, whatever you want. And that concludes the tutorial for today. Thanks for watching, and if you like, please like, and if you think it's worth sharing, you can share and comment, and I love comments, any ideas you have for other tutorials you'd be interested in, and we'll see you next time. Take care, bye.